Well, good morning, America. Welcome to the Investor Shed podcast. I'm Nick Beveridge, here with the best co-host you can find under a rock, Jeremy Kitchen.
I'm also the freest co-host, so like best and free are two different things, but I'm hopefully getting the best of both worlds there. And you said good morning, America. A lot of our listeners come from Russia.
Good morning, Russia.
Good morning, world. How about that?
I hope you're done bombing the Ukraine.
We're getting political today.
How's that political?
I don't know.
Just stop the killing. Jeez. Give up some land, Ukraine. Just do it. Well, good morning, Jeremy. Happy Friday to you. It's almost Christmas. Now, when you're listening to this, it is past Christmas, of course.
Unless you're live, then welcome to the live, of course.
But a little insider scoop here. It's just before Christmas. Last day of the kids going to school for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
My wife and I are so happy to have the kids home for the next 2 weeks to entertain. And
he says with conviction.
We are.
Yeah.
We love our kids so much that we want to spend all the time in the world with them. What are you doing for the holidays?
No big plans yet. We're just trying to do a little tiny Christmas at our little tiny house.
I bought a ribeye, and this is how dumb I am.
Okay.
I didn't know what to look for. I was looking for a prime rib, a prime rib. I bought a prime rib. I was looking for something that said prime rib.
Okay.
I couldn't find it anywhere. And then the Costco guy kept showing me, he's like, or there in the middle. And I kept saying, it's just this big packet of ribeye. And then he had eventually I had to keep getting him to come back. And he points at the sticker that says Prime USA, means it's good.
Right.
Prime means good, a good ribeye.
It's not like a brand of meat.
And it's not like a cut. It's not chopped up yet.
The cut is not the prime rib. It's not like a loin or anything like that, or a shoulder strap. It's a rib.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a packet like this, it's like $150 for like 7.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Bought it.
Cool.
So, yeah. So we're going to have a prime rib eye.
Nice.
Why don't they just say rib eye so they won't confuse me for the last 15 years?
Dude, I don't know. Talk to Costco.
I thought it was something else.
Well,
that's how dumb I am.
Okay, so you got your prime rib for Christmas.
And we're going to talk about asset organization today.
We're talking about
I didn't even know what a prime rib was.
I'm like, we're like 3 minutes in already, and all we figured out is that you didn't know what a prime rib was.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that educated.
I don't think I would have known either, to be honest with you. I probably
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not the only dummy.
I'm not like a meat connoisseur where I'm like, this has to be a prime rib.
I mean, for the most part, when I eat meats like that, people just put it in front of me.
Right.
I'm not cooking it. I can cook like baked beans.
That are already cooked?
In the microwave?
Yeah.
Yep.
They've already been cooked.
I can
Since
make
the word baked. They have been baked.
I can make an egg and cheese burrito from scratch.
From scratch?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I cook it all up.
Nice. I love it.
But today we're going to cook up what should your investment portfolio look like if you want to maximize your asset protection and minimize the hassle of estate planning.
You showed me your org chart right before we started too, and I was really impressed, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I've been working on it for a while.
I love it. I thought it was super cool.
Yeah. I have ADHD undiagnosed.
Undiagnosed, of course.
And anytime I have to work at work, I try to find other things to do. And for the last couple of days, I decided I would actually map out my actual org chart. That way, I can quickly show it to my CPA for tax purposes. Like, here's what everything looks like so you're not confused. And here's a couple of the new properties I got this year. Any questions, let me know. That way he can see the flow of the trusts and the Wyoming LLC with all the Idaho LLCs and blah, 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 blah.
This is where the things are, and this is how they should be taxed. Do your work.
Even though he's probably aware of some of it, but
Sure.
I have a feeling there's a few people out there that need to see that work with me just so that they can have a quick visual like, oh, okay, this is how everything flows. And I'm not Mr. like know-it-all. I just did whatever my attorney told me to do, which I've heard so much attorney advice on how you should structure your assets.
Yeah.
But it really is a personal thing.
Sure.
And it depends on what you do for a living and how you want your assets protected and what kind of risk you're willing to take.
Yeah.
So it is a customized dish.
Yeah.
But I feel like for the average real estate entrepreneur that has a few rentals and a couple other side hustles going on, seems like this is probably the best strategic play.
Yeah.
Not according just to my attorney, but also Grok just told me.
We ran it through Super Grok to make sure we were legit.
We ran it through Grok, wanted some critical feedback, and it was just like, dude, this is excellent.
Yeah.
This is one of the best structures I've ever seen. I wouldn't change much. Just verify that it's true.
Grok was like, if I was a person, I'd be moist.
Oh, yeah. Grok got super wet.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. And what Nick's talking about, too, is asset protection. This isn't going to matter from like a tax saving standpoint, of course. Like you don't structure this as a tax saving structure. You structure this so you can have asset protection, correct?
And ease of estate
planning. Correct.
So it's a combination. Yeah. Now, what this does not have is much privacy, even though there's privacy elements in it, but that's not the goal. So the goal, some people, they want to minimize their exposure to the world of like even what they own.
Yeah.
And my portfolio, it's kind of there,
Sure.
but for the most part, I've skipped some steps where I don't really care. Like I'm the registered agent on almost all of these, and we'll get into that later.
Why don't you want to make it hard to find on these things?
Because Matt Swardson, the attorney that I like taking advice from, he's also the registered agent on all his stuff, and he says it just doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference as long as you're not doing anything illegal. Who cares? Like it's better to have control of that stuff. Make sure that things are taken care of in a timely manner. And if you're the registered agent, for instance, in Idaho, it's free to annually update your stuff, and it does not take much time. In my experience in Idaho, you don't need to offload this stuff to somebody else. It's going to take longer to hire somebody to do it than you just doing it.
Right. But that also depends on people's situation. Like, I mean, like somebody could be 10 levels above you, and maybe they want that sort of privacy element built in.
Oh,
like,
sure.
Like it just depends on what you want at the end of the day. Do you want the privacy? Do you want the protection?
It is a customized dish, like I said in the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's good that you follow Matt Sorensen. I think he just got a million YouTube subscribers.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We had him on the podcast.
We did. He does not remember being on our podcast.
Of course not. He's on podcasts all the time.
I talked to him when we were at the Julie Holly thing, and he says like, I don't remember. And I'm like, well, all right. All right. You were there. That's okay.
I don't remember a couple of the podcasts I've been on too.
I don't remember what we talked about last week. So
I was just on a podcast a couple days ago.
Really?
On Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'll probably forget all about it.
Yeah.
But we're going to have that guy on our show next Monday.
Oh, is that Brandon?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we did a podcast swap.
Oh.
He's
so I just got left out of this podcast swap then. I see.
You're going to be part of the show.
You're going to be the
his
co-host. Yeah.
You're going to be part of this show.
I love it. That's fine. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Cool.
His show's mostly like developments and stuff.
I don't know anything about that.
Right.
That'd be the end of the podcast. Tell me your experience, Jeremy. I don't know anything about that. All right, well, tune in next week for a guest that actually knows something.
That's right.
Nice. Cool.
Shall we share screen?
Yeah, let's share it. But let's keep us in the bottom corner because I like to see this at the same time.
We can do that.
I'm kind of vain. I like looking at myself a little bit. So if you just do the screen, people won't see that we're actually getting naked. Yeah.
There we are.
We're
right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
So, now I think everyone's going to be able to see this whole thing, but we're not. Our part is a little chopped off, but
okay.
for the viewers watching on YouTube, they're going to be able to see everything here. So what I've got is an org chart that is, from what I've been told by a couple different sources, probably can't get much better. For my particular situation.
Yeah. Before you started, by the way, I thought you said org chart.
And organization.
I've heard org chart a lot, and I'm like, what the hell is an org chart? But now it makes sense. Organizational chart. That makes like full sense.
Oh, did you think like the people from Dungeons and Dragons?
No, I didn't know what to think. Like I thought org was like an acronym for something. Like.
Oh yeah, not an acronym, just a shortened version of like .org.
Yeah, I love it.
In the business world, if you hear org chart, that just means organizational chart, and it's just a chart that shows the flow of business,
sure,
and who's in charge of what, and so on,
because it's organized.
Yeah. So at the top of the chart, of course, you got me as a person, and I'm just waving there, and I am the trustee of this paper document called the Revocable Trust.
It's a revocable living trust, right?
It is, yeah. I've got and I've got another version of this just for the podcast. I just kind of I changed some names and took out some addresses and stuff, but I actually have like the name of my trust there in the other document. Jeremy thought it'd be a good idea if I didn't share with the world all of my personal information.
We were talking about privacy, right? I'm like, I feel like you shouldn't like expose all your cards right now, but I think it's cool seeing the chart at the same time.
For the most part, a lot of this is actually this is all truly what is mine, but I just changed some names and took out some addresses. So I am a trustee, meaning that I have signing power on this trust, and currently I'm in control of the trust.
Yeah.
The beneficiaries of the trust are my kids when I die, when they reach a certain age, and we're not going to get huge into the asset protection part or
Right.
the trust in this episode, but just so you guys know, I had an attorney set this up, but all it is just a document customized to me. If you cannot afford an attorney for this, you can still set up your own trust with AI.
Right.
ChatGPT or whatever, just say, build me a trust for this and ask me some questions about my situation and create me the perfect trust that I can use for now until I can afford an attorney someday and change it.
Right. So this is the revocable living trust is just a document that says who is the owner of said properties and
instructions on what you want with your assets. And it has all kinds of stuff in there, but it's just a big old document.
Right.
And it becomes, it doesn't even have a social security number or an EIN number or anything.
Doesn't have a tax ID or anything like that?
Nope. Cool. Nope. It's just a living document, basically, that once notarized in the state of Idaho, it's active. You don't even need to register it in Idaho. Now I know in other states you'll have to register a trust, but in Idaho you don't have to.
Right. And before you kind of dive into this, there's a point I want to touch on right here. So obviously you said you can have AI kind of make a trust for you. I wouldn't go that route.
Sure. I'm just saying if you can't afford it.
Right. If you can't afford it, sure. But also
it's better than nothing. If you're
somebody like you who has multiple LLCs and multiple properties, I think I would have a hard time trusting AI to make sure that the T's were dotted and I's were.
Now I'm going to play devil's advocate there with you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this, that and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm 90% right.
Yeah.
It is still, even if it's not perfect, it's better than nothing, because basically when you die, there's got a plan that's going to be followed.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a trust, the plan is the state's plan for your stuff.
Right. I guess what I'm talking about is like the technicality of what you're saying with AI. So obviously AI can draft the document, but it's up to you to put these properties and these businesses into the revocable living trust as the owner, correct?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, there's still more work involved.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So it's not just a piece of paper.
I didn't mean to misunderstand you.
Yeah. And I just wanted to make sure there is a bigger piece. You can't just have AI spit you out a document and you're good to go. You have to actually go and put these properties into the trust.
Well, I mean, you're good to go with step one.
Right. Yeah.
Step one is creating the document that gives instructions on what happens when you either die or become ill or incapacitated or paralyzed or something like that, where you can't make decisions for yourself anymore.
Sure.
Where you're either dead or you need help.
Yeah.
And basically you get that notarized and then you make that the beneficiary of your bank account and then slowly put all your assets into it.
Okay.
Or into it as in you're changing the name of the ownership, you're transferring deeds, you're quit claiming deeds of properties into that trust.
Yeah.
If you go to, you're going to want to put your, now you'll see on my organizational chart, the way my attorney advised is that I simply put my personal house and anything else personally that I own that's not an investment in the trust.
Okay.
But not in an LLC.
Okay. Personal house in the trust, not an LLC. That makes sense. That really does.
But it does actually, it won't make sense to some people. They'll be like, well, don't you want the most amount of asset protection?
You're still screen sharing, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. And here's why. Oh, sorry. I've got, maybe it's up here. This is why you wouldn't want, and I know I'm screen sharing here. So don't put your personal house in an LLC.
Yeah.
So you can avoid the mortgage complications like a due on sale clause.
Sure.
Also, you get to preserve your homestead exemption. If you transfer it into an LLC versus a trust, that homeowner's exemption could go away.
What's the homeowner's exemption for anybody listening?
So like in Idaho right now, it's $125,000 exemption. So like your house value that they tax you on annually, your property taxes.
Sure.
They'll take the assessed value and they'll subtract, if it's your homeowner's exemption, $125,000 from that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also,
so it's beneficial to have that in your own personal.
You get to maintain that capital gains exclusion if you go to sell it.
Yeah.
So if you sell your personal residence,
that's big.
that you've lived in for 2 of the last 5 years, then you're exempt from paying any capital gains taxes up to $250,000, or if you're married, up to $500,000.
That's big.
Yeah, it's huge. If you just transfer it to an LLC, you may jeopardize that.
Right. That makes sense.
Also, insurance and liability consideration. Your standard homeowner's insurance policy is designed for a personal residence. So if you have an LLC, it could result in like higher premiums or denied coverage.
Sure.
It's just, you're just playing a risky game there, and you just transfer it to an LLC, your personal house.
Right.
And then for estate planning simplicity, if you put it in an LLC, it's not as black and white.
Yeah.
If you were to pass, than if it was just in your trust.
I feel like all those things are just really good reasons to not put it in an LLC. And that's exactly what it's stating, right?
Yeah. And your personal homestead already comes with all these protections that aren't necessarily there with your investment properties.
Right.
So you have to create the protections with your investment properties, but with your personal house, the state and the feds, they already kind of give you all these personal protections.
Sure.
For your homestead.
Yeah. And like I talked about before we started recording too, like if you put your personal residence in an LLC, that does make it almost risky to whatever other properties happen in the LLC too. So say somebody, a ladder falls on them on a rental, right?
Yeah,
and
you're broadening the liability.
You're broadening the liability, and now people can go after your personal equity in your personal home, which you just don't really need to do. It feels unnecessary.
And we're not saying that just by having your personal house in your trust makes things any safer.
No.
Or puts you at less risk. I'm just stating those points that AI and attorneys make.
Yeah. And I like the capital gains.
You can
too.
still get sued and you can still lose your house
Right.
in certain situations, depending on what you do.
Just that capital gains policy alone, where you save $500,000 if you're married on capital gains.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's pretty big. Like that's enough reason to just not do it right there.
Yep. So you'll see that, in my organizational chart, I've got my personal house and a second home in that. Now, I am not sure. I just started the personal house this year, or the personal second home.
Yep.
Started building the cabin.
Yep.
I haven't yet talked to my attorney or my tax guy about how to handle that. So right now it's just in my trust. And it's not owned by a separate LLC or anything. So I'll have to find out later what to do with that.
You're also going to be using that for like Airbnbs and stuff too, correct?
I might.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like that one might make sense in an LLC eventually, because you're only going to be using the second home probably, maybe a month out of the year.
Maybe off and on. Yeah.
Off and on, right? So and that qualifies for the second home, of course, or the second personal home.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That's a to be continued.
Yeah. Talk to your tax people. Now,
here's what's unique. If you own rental properties, what my attorney advised. So I've got a Wyoming LLC that is the trust owns. And then that Wyoming LLC owns my 4 different Idaho LLCs that I have that have rental properties in them.
Are you full owners of all those?
I'm full owners of 2 of them, and then 2 of them I'm half owners.
Okay, perfect. I was going to say, I recognize a couple of the LLC names, and I thought those were partnerships, but...
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so basically my Wyoming LLC is a 50-50 partner with a guy up in Sandpoint that we own this one together. And then my Wyoming LLC is a 50-50 partner of the RV Park LLC that owns the RV park. So you'll see like the RV park.
Yeah.
The RV park is owned by this Idaho LLC that is owned by the Wyoming LLC that is owned by the trust, and I'm the trustee.
That is basically managed by
1,
you. Yes.
2, 3, 4, 4 layers.
Yeah.
of and the reason for the Wyoming LLC, it is protection against
charging order protecting entity.
Charging order protection.
Cope.
It's to save the LLC from me here. So, and then the LLC is to save me from any activities within the LLC personally.
Right.
So it helps as the Wyoming LLC helps protect the other way around.
Yeah.
So if something happened in my personal life where, let's say my daughter starts driving one day and she runs over a kid and the family wants to sue me personally.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to force a sale on my Wyoming properties.
Right.
Because they can't, that's what Wyoming protects against is forced sales.
Yeah.
Now they can have a claim against me and have a claim on any owner distributions that I might take, from that, but I don't have to take owner distributions.
Sure.
I can always make management fees or whatever. There's ways around not having to pay claims
Right.
against that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the other way around, if something happened at my RV park, I'm personally protected.
Right.
Because
go up the
the
chain,
liability stays within that LLC. Hey, quick commercial break here. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I really do appreciate it. If you want to give back, let me help you buy a house, or I can help you sell a house. It's the only way I make money when I'm not investing in real estate. I don't make money on this podcast or the events I do, but I do make money only when I help people buy and sell houses. So if you're looking for your next investment and you're here in North Idaho, I want to help you personally. If you are not in North Idaho, I can still help you out. I have a vast network of referral partners all across the country, and I can find the right real estate investor savvy agent for you so you don't have to. It doesn't cost you a thing. Thank you for your support. Back to the show. I'll see.
Right.
And it wouldn't come over to, let's say, if somebody slipped and fell at the RV park or got eaten by a dog, whatever happened at the RV park, it wouldn't have an effect on any of these other rentals that I have because they are in separate entities.
Right. So just to kind of simplify that, so if somebody did get hurt at your RV park and they tried to sue, they could only sue the REI RV LLC. They can't actually sue the Wyoming, or can they go up to the line to the Wyoming one and the puck stops there, basically?
They can only sue the REI RV LLC, the owner.
Yeah.
I mean, they can sue whoever they want.
Sure.
But that's who's ultimately going to be liable.
Yeah.
And then any equity within that LLC is at risk.
Yeah.
There's not much equity at that RV park.
I believe it.
We have loans against it that are close to what it's worth.
Sure.
Maybe it's worth a couple $100,000 more.
Are you still making money on that?
But we have 2 loans against it. Oh yeah. We're making money on it.
Cool.
But we don't have a lot of equity.
Right.
And then the reason why I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have like eight properties, but only 4 actual LLCs, and not like, hey, why don't you have an LLC for every property?
Yeah.
Because what the tax people recommend, or sorry, not my tax attorney, what he recommends is limit your liability to around $250,000 of equity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I have these 3 houses in this one LLC, because all combined, they have less than $250,000 worth of equity.
Sure.
Now this 4-plex right next to it, that one has a lot more.
Right. So
it's in its own bubble there.
Okay.
This other property, the Sandpoint house, that one has over $200,000 of equity.
Nice.
It's on its own.
Sure.
Nothing else needs to be in there. So that's it in a nutshell for the reason why I have that. Now over here, the trust also owns a couple of these LLCs, and these are operating LLCs. And I have flip properties that are being worked on in here. This is a development with our team here, and then this is a quick flip on some land that's being held. I flipped 5 different properties this year within this LLC.
Nice. They're
all just in and out. Got the hard money brokerage right here. And then I've got this partnership with my brother that we've had for like 10 years, and we're finally dissolving it.
Sure.
We're all good. We're just done with that LLC. It's been through, probably 50 plus homes in the last decade. And what made me want to shut it down was I got a call a couple months ago, from some people that pretty much were demanding $20,000 from a roof that they didn't think was installed correctly years ago.
Okay.
And it just made me think, let's just get rid of this one.
Yeah.
And there's also a false lien on it from the construction company that we used to own. And because it had a similar name, they just decided, let's just sue this company too. We got out of it because it wasn't justified, but it was a hassle. So 2 hassles in 1 year.
That's kind of slows this thing down.
It's been operating for 10 years, just, creating liability over time, fixing and flipping homes. Most of the time, we do an excellent job. People are happy.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, when things don't go right, everybody, these days and age, they just want to blame.
Right.
And that's just something that goes along with the territory.
What's funny is people blame you for these roofs and everything. Didn't they get an inspection?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, didn't the inspector say yeah, this roof's good?
Or they said it, or it wasn't, but it doesn't matter. Right. I don't know. But
But you have a due diligence.
You have a due diligence
for a
time
reason.
for him. It's not like we're hiding anything.
Right.
We did what we could. We also hire a bunch of people, so it's not like I'm personally going and working on these, or my brother's just working on them.
Yeah. You guys hire subcontractors all the time.
We hire subs all the time. Subs make mistakes. I mean, when you're putting together thousands of pieces on a house, sometimes pieces don't go together perfectly, and that's why you get inspections. And sometimes buyers just buy anyway. They know they're getting a great deal. They'll deal with stuff later,
right?
And then when it's time to deal with it, they start getting angry and just want to blame everybody. That's part of our culture. So you can accept that, and you can pay for everything if you want, which I used to do that.
Yeah,
yes. I used to just take responsibility for everything, even though it's not my fault. And that didn't get me very far in life.
Yep.
And now I'm fighting back a little bit. Like, well, you had a chance. You went through a property inspection. You took it as is. And oh, by the way, this was 3 years ago. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And and maybe that's not the best way to handle it, but I'm kind of fed up these days.
Yeah.
I'm fed up with nonsense and people just blaming everybody else for their problems.
Yeah.
And I'm starting, we're just going to shut that LLC down.
Cool.
It's and it was more out of frustration, but it's also the way I see it. It carries so much baggage because it's fix and flip 50 homes over time.
Right.
And I just feel like this culture is just, nobody tries to do anything for themselves anymore. And they just want to blame anytime something goes wrong or it's time to fix something. I remember the very first house we ever flipped, it was a roof issue again. We didn't fix the roof because we couldn't afford to at the time. It just came with a shady roof.
Yeah.
And we got the moss off of it. And we were selling this house really cheap. It was like $115,000.
Okay.
They got an inspection. They knew the roof didn't have much life left in it. We got a roofer came and they're like, yeah, maybe 5 or less years left on it.
Yeah.
They bought the house, and then
knowing this information, right? Yeah.
About a year and a half later, I think they started having a roof leak, and they had to do the roof a little bit earlier than they thought.
Yeah.
So they decided to ask us for $10,000.
Did you give it to them?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
But it caused me so much stress at the time. I was just like trying to figure out like, how can we do this? Eventually they just went away.
Yeah.
But it was a big lesson of like, oh wow, you can sell a house, you can give someone a great deal, you can have an agreement, and then some time can go by, and then people just change their minds, or people just change their attitudes about things.
Yeah.
And when they actually have to fork out money, they just try to blame it on other people. And that's just been my experience. Maybe most home flippers don't go through this.
I think you'll see this in no matter whatever industry you're in, to be honest with you. Like, I do with real estate photography. I feel like I do a pretty damn good job. I've had clients come up to me like 3 months later and be like, my client is not satisfied with the photos. And I'm like, well, you put it on the MLS for 3 months. And I'm just
Did you overprice the house?
Yeah. Right. Like, I'm like, if you need me to be your scapegoat about like why it's not selling, sure. But like, if it's my problem and if it's I'll 1000% fix it.
Maybe you should have brought it up the day I sent you the photos.
There's also terms and conditions that you agree to that says like any changes must be made in writing within 48 hours to be in effect. Otherwise, goods and sales are considered final. Something I want to talk about just real quick on your org chart here is you've got your North Idaho REI team. You're 50% over that. That is your agent sales team. But on the right of that, you've got your Nick Estates, and that's where your agent commission goes.
Yeah, so that's my LLC that handles all the day-to-day operations and like short-term.
Right. So these are operating almost like side by side.
So commissions and flip income.
Properties that you sell on your real estate team, they go into North Idaho REI team, and then REI team pays Nick Estates. Is that correct?
So
for agent commissions,
you would think, but no.
Okay.
So REI team, that is a shared business where it has an employee that we hire. It does, but it doesn't really do operations out of it.
Sure.
We do the operations as independent agents.
Got it. Okay.
And we pay into that, and then it pays our expenses.
Sure, that makes sense.
Nick Estates.
It's a business expense for your Nick Estates. Got it.
Yep. Cool. Nick Estates just pays North Idaho REI team, and then REI team pays the bills.
Cool.
For salaries and marketing and all that stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes sense. I was just curious how that actually was structured.
Also, once in a while, we would buy a property together. So we bought at the beginning of the year this subdivision. Yeah. And it's a pretty big asset.
It is a big asset.
But instead of us
I said no on that
forming a new one, we're also, this is set up for efficiency to not always have to create a new LLC for everything,
Yeah.
because when you create a new LLC, you create more expenses annually.
Right.
Like expect a minimum, $500 or $600
Yeah.
a
For
year
the filing fees and
for the
stuff.
filing. Well, yeah, filing fees and just working with your accountant for
Right.
another LLC.
Setting up the bank accounts type of thing. And
Yeah, more bank accounts and stuff, which isn't always bad.
No.
But it's about, trying to be efficient at the same time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And you guys had that LLC anyway. You might as well use it and buy a property together with it. There's no
Yeah.
rule that says you
And
can't.
we've done that before.
Yeah.
Well, because we have 3 accounts with the North Idaho REI team. We have one account that's our main business checking that almost all of our real estate sales team business expenses go in and out of.
Yeah.
And then we have another account that is a project account.
Right.
Within that, and then another account that's our vacation account.
Gotcha.
So every time we close a transaction, about $400, $200 from each side of mine and my business partner, will go into the vacation fund. And every time we have a project and we'll source funds from it, it will go in the middle account, the project account. Right now it's midway, if that makes sense.
And
so we still kind of have it separated out with bank accounts within the same entity.
Yeah, and it just depends on, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, but when you set up an LLC, they're going to ask you what is this LLC used for? What kind of business are you conducting? If you're doing, sales and operations and rental income out of one LLC at the same time, it gets a little weird with the tax code on what they're actually taxed as. Because when you set it up, they're like, all right, it's code S749 for...
Yeah, is this an S corp or is this a partnership?
Yeah. So just make sure that I try to keep your operational pieces together, and then your passive pieces kind of, if you need a different piece for that too. Just again, talk to your tax guy.
Yep. Yeah. So we wouldn't hold a rental. Like if we bought a rental together, we wouldn't hold it in that LLC.
Right.
Because the short term, flipping houses is short term, active income.
Yes.
More of a dealer type of move. If we were to hold a passive investment, it would definitely need to be in a separate entity.
Sure.
Because it is a completely different business, taxed differently. So you are right.
Yeah.
So
sometimes when you lump these together, just make sure you're kind of operating within those lines of what you actually need operated in.
But according to my tax guy, when we make real estate commission income or house flipping income, it's treated as the same. So we can do it in the same entity.
Sure. Because
even though they're kind of different businesses, but it can be the same business. So my Nick Estates LLC, which I run almost a lot of my expenses.
You do run a lot through that. Yeah.
That's because my real estate business expenses and income go through there, and my flipping, whenever I'm flipping houses, not with partners.
Right.
Whenever I don't have a partnership, I'll use that one.
Okay.
And my tax guy thinks that that's totally fine for my situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just something, again, talk to your tax professional about, see exactly how you can optimize for you. Because like Nick said at the beginning of the episode, this is tailored to you.
Yeah.
This is not something that you see this and you just copy and paste what Nick has and start operating as you were Nick Beveridge.
Yep.
So
then if you go back up to the top with me, the little stick figure guy, and then you'll see there's also, going off to the right, I have this Roth IRA account.
You're the manager of that.
I'm the manager of that account.
You're the manager of the LLC.
And the manager of the LLC.
Yes, correct.
So you can see that the IRA account owns its own LLC. Now, I actually don't own that LLC. The account does.
Yeah, your Roth IRA is the owner
that's
of
important
that LLC.
Important to know.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I mean that's pretty much it. What kind of questions do you have? I'm gonna get out of sharing here.
I guess a couple questions that come to mind are the first one being, obviously this is a really cool setup. When would be the right time for somebody to set up a revocable living trust like this, or set up an org chart so it kind of flows like yours?
If you have anything more, if you have assets, I think it's pretty important to just jump on right away.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm just wondering
if you have other properties, if you have entities, I think it's important to just start it.
Yeah.
And did you ask when should you get a trust set up? Yeah. So according to, Matt and Mark, everybody should have a trust.
Just get it set up
right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even if you don't have anything, because you can always have an insurance plan.
Yeah.
And then you can, the life insurance.
Right.
And so if you did die, you can easily have if you have term life, like we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
You can be a brand new entrepreneur out there, a young guy, and have like hardly any money, but maybe you could be paying like $20 a month or something like that,
Mhm.
$20-$30 a month into a life insurance policy term, and over, assuming that if you died within the next 10 years or
Mhm.
so somehow, like you can get like $1 million that you can go to whatever.
Yeah. I love term
And your
insurance.
trust and with your trust, it doesn't just have to go to your kids, even if you don't have kids.
Right.
It can go towards whatever, some organization that you feel strongly for,
Sure.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can start to feel what it's like to be rich very early on with a trust and having life insurance, just so you can get used to knowing, I can leave some sort of a legacy, even if I don't have it built yet.
Yeah.
Just by dying with life insurance. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you can start there.
Sure.
And then build it as you go.
Yeah. That makes absolute sense, actually. So I have term insurance. I actually should do my revocable living trust and just at least get that in there. And I've got a couple other assets, of course.
Yeah.
I've got stocks. I've got a bunch of stuff that's just like sitting in my own personal name, of course.
Yeah. Same here. I actually do need to. I have a lot of stocks and stuff that's just in my personal name that I do need to put in the trust.
How hard do you think it is to switch your Robinhood to the revocable living trust as the owner?
Oh, probably not hard.
Probably
I just
not
have to look into it. I
Sure.
don't know. Have you looked into that?
No, I haven't looked into it, but I know when you set up the account, it's like add your social, add all your details, like because you're the owner of these things. We need to verify it's you.
Yeah.
I don't know how hard that is to switch at some point. Yeah. So I guess the next question for you is how hard is it to, I guess, amend the revocable living trust if you need to make changes? Is it really hard?
Super easy.
Super easy.
You make an addendum and you have it notarized.
I know that.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Yep.
Don't look at me like I'm stupid. I'm just
No. But that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to make changes, you can make changes at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Just with an addendum.
Yeah.
To the trust.
How many layers deep do you go on what were to happen if you and your wife would die? Obviously, you've got people like, obviously you said one of your business partners would end up taking over.
Yeah.
Is there like a fail-safe, like, okay, if wife dies, you die, business partner dies, do your kids take over, or has somebody manage it for the kids? Like, how many layers deep should a person go to make sure that the things continue to run smoothly?
Yeah. So as of right now with my trust, the way I have it set up, and you can go as deep as you want.
Sure.
If I died, then my wife takes over.
Mhm.
She's the new trustee.
Yeah.
If we both died, then Joe Turner would take over.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that she owns the trust.
Right.
But then she has signing power, and she's responsible for seeing the trust play out.
Sure.
Like if I die, what happens then?
Right.
And I believe you and Sam, if the kids are under 18,
Mhm.
under 18,
Right.
you guys would have the ability, not the requirement,
Right.
to, if you wanted to be beneficiaries of the trust,
Right.
Take them, move into our house and raise our kids, and then you get some portion of the trust. I can't remember.
Yeah.
You probably remember more than I do.
I remember briefly. I don't remember.
Did I give you a copy of it?
I don't know if I got a copy of
I
it.
should give you a copy.
I remember it was probably 5 or 6 years ago when
Yeah.
we said like we were just going to implement this thing.
Yep.
And I didn't see any of the back end, and that's okay. I don't care.
And then I think I had 50,
Just make sure you save
Yeah.
enough money for your kids' therapy if you guys pass away.
Right. So and I didn't want to
It's
make you
gonna be a hard
responsible,
scoop to
and I
do.
didn't want to make you responsible for all the stuff and all the businesses going on, but I did want to make Joe responsible because I know she can handle it,
Right.
and she was fine with that, and I think she was making me also the trustee if she died.
Yeah, I'm not offended by the way. I was just curious, like
just because-
how many layers deep you go.
Yeah. So but I don't know if we all died, then who knows?
Yeah.
Then it goes to probate or something. I don't
Right.
know.
If the whole world just goes
Um,
to shit, like I don't know, man.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I can go make changes. I'd like to go back and look at it because it's actually been a couple of years now since
Yeah.
I've set it up, and I'd like to refresh. What did we agree to again? But I know that it was a better plan than what the state would have.
Sure. And that leads me to my next question. How
And that-
often should people be updating? I know we talked about how easy
Probably
it
every
was.
year.
Every year?
I think that's what they recommend, right?
Yeah, every 12 months, just take a look at your revocable living trust, make sure all the pieces are where they need to be. Make sure, because life changes, right?
Yeah.
Like situations change. One year
Totally.
you could really love working with Joe, and next year you're like, you know what, she pissed me off. I'm going to make her less of an owner here.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally forget what I set up, and what if we went on our own one day,
Yeah.
or we had some sort of big business fight.
Mhm.
Totally forgot to change the trust. And
Yeah.
then what if I died a couple years after that? And then all of a sudden, my arch enemy has control over my whole estate.
Right. And I've heard of that from like
Um,
Matt and Mark, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
From Directed
Okay.
IRA, saying that like, a guy has his wife as his beneficiary. They divorce,
Uh-huh.
and then he marries a new wife.
Yeah.
And then guy passes away, and all the assets go to the old ex-wife.
Sure.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, you got to update your
Yeah,
trust.
make sure you update your stuff for sure.
Update your trust. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I actually had a lot of life insurance.
Yeah.
Especially when I had a lot of people working for me. And if I passed, 3-4 years ago,
Mhm.
then I would have had a bunch of my life insurance going to people that I hate right today.
You know what? I would.
I did so update your life insurance beneficiaries as well.
Yeah.
If you have a bunch of beneficiaries, because I had like 12 different beneficiaries
Sure.
that were getting certain amounts of money if I passed.
And we're talking about like this, if you make these changes once a year, which I think is a good starting point. I would honestly, anytime something major happens in your life,
Mhm.
just make a ping to yourself to be like, I need to update things.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
major events that happen in your life, update the things. Plus, look at them once a year to make sure everything's running smoothly.
I'd go a bit further. Anything that I would have something set up that you check on a regular basis of things to do. Because once it hits your head, it may not be the most appropriate time to update your trust.
Yeah.
You're probably
Stuff
in the
fizzles
car,
so
you're in the
much. Yeah,
shower,
yeah.
or something like that. But if you can grab your phone, like what I really love is Google Keep. That app, Google Keep, and I will just put things on there that I eventually have to do this season or something like that.
Yeah.
And just keep notes there to where once in a while I'll check them and be like, oh yeah, I got to check that. I got to take care of that.
Yeah.
But at least it's off my mind. And I feel like it just frees up some cognitive abilities to not have so much weighing on it, just on your mind. Like, oh yeah, I got to do this. I got to do that. But I can't forget not to do it because I didn't write it down.
It's so hard. I was in the shower the other day and I like yelled for Sam. I'm like, I've got like 5 things that I'm going to forget by the time I get out of the shower. Can you please like write them down and text them to me? Because I will seriously like, these are things that I want to take care of in the next 2 days. And I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's helped me. I don't know if anybody else thinks like I do, but
you said Google Keep. Google Tasks works really good too.
Google
Just
Tasks.
anything like that tells you.
That was harder for me to try to figure out where is all that stuff stored.
Yeah.
Or
so
like,
I like the tasks because you can put reminders on the tasks and it will like ping you later. Like, hey, make sure you do this thing.
Maybe I'll have to look at that.
They also have on your iPhone, there's a reminders app.
Yeah.
Which you can sync with other people. So Sam and I have like a shared grocery list, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
So she adds things to the grocery list. It automatically goes on my reminders. I just pick them up off the list.
That's on Google?
Just an app called Reminders. It's
just Reminders.
An Apple.
And Apples?
Yeah.
Okay. Hillary just got an iPhone.
Congratulations, Hillary.
Now we can be iPhone buddies together.
You can.
Maybe we'll share our location.
Ooh.
You ever done that?
Yeah, we share.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Apparently that's common.
Yeah, we share and we have Life 360 with my family and her family. And it's actually kind of convenient.
Yeah. Harder to ruin relationships these days, right? Or easier, maybe.
I guess.
Hey, where are you?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we're like both actively like, where are you all day? But it's nice to know that like Life 360 will give you like crash updates. So if you're going fast in a vehicle and you suddenly abruptly stop, it'll like ping people in your family like, hey, possibility Nick Beveridge got in a wreck right now.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That would give a lot of people anxiety. He just came to a sudden stop. Everyone
stopped.
leave me alone. You get all these texts.
Mhm.
Are you okay? Shut up. Why did everyone have to see that?
Yeah, and it'll tell you like your last known location too, which is kind of nice. So like if by chance one of you goes missing, you can kind of have a beacon.
Okay. Great for getting, stolen or something.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of these AirTag trackers that are off-brand
Mhm.
AirTag.
Oh, you didn't buy Apple ones?
I didn't buy Apple ones.
Okay.
But I bought a pack of 4 for like $16 or
Okay.
something like that. But I think because you can do the Find My on the iPhone and
With those?
yeah.
Okay,
with
cool.
those.
Yeah.
They're just like AirTags.
Okay.
They're just off-branded.
And they work with Apple?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I'm planning on like putting those in my kids' backpacks and stuff and trying to track our kids a little bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe. Stuff that this would have creeped us out 20 years ago.
Right.
Like crazy. But now it's just so normal these days.
Right. And if they have cell phones, obviously you can put like the Life 360 on their cell phones. Kids get around that. They know how to get around these things too, which is like you can trick the devices into making it think that you haven't done the thing. And Ari's told me a couple of things. I'm like, well, then what's the point of having the thing if you guys are just going to break the thing?
Yeah. Give me that thing back. Or you can pay for that thing.
Yeah. I like the AirTags because I think like if you keep it in their backpacks or like
or in the shoe.
Yeah.
I think
like,
I heard
put it in
people
their
putting them in their shoe or something.
Yeah.
Somehow. Yeah.
No,
Because if they ever were kidnapped
Right.
randomly, then it'd be great to just go to that door.
I try not to use it from like a spying factor, but it's like if they do show up, if they nobody's going to show up missing, that doesn't make sense. But if they are missing for whatever reason, you have a beacon of hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's at least that.
No, I think the AirTags are really cool.
Yeah. That might be a good way to wrap this up.
Yeah.
With
AirTags?
Yeah, AirTags. Remember we wrapped up with AirPods on one of them?
We did.
What Apple brand should we talk about at the end of our next episode?
Right. Nick actually likes the AirTags and the AirPods, even though he tried to scam insurance.
I know. One of my AirPods was dead this morning. I was
Bummer.
really upset. I'm like, you didn't charge right? This is the brand new one. What the heck?
Did you put it in its case?
I put it back in its case and it was charging then, but I pulled it out of the case. One was fully charged. One was dead.
Interesting.
I was like, what's going on?
Was there a little bit of schmutz on the bottom of the thing?
No, it's pretty clean.
Okay.
It's a newer AirPods.
Was your case? Do you put in both earpods at the same time?
Yeah.
I only work with one.
No, I like both.
Yeah.
I like the passive mode
Yeah.
mostly, so I can hear people.
Yeah.
Just fine.
Okay.
Unless I'm in the bathroom and the fan is on, then it's just extra loud.
Yeah.
So that's the noise canceling.
Noise
Great
canceling
for
in the
that.
bathrooms for
Yeah.
sure. Yep. I hear you. Well, cool. Hopefully people learned a lot about like trusts and org charts and how to optimize those. I think
So
really cool episode.
before we wrap this up, do you think you're going to make any changes to what you have going on?
I don't have an org chart. I don't have a trust. So those are things that I need to do.
Get your trust set up.
Yeah.
Wait, can you do that by the end of the year? AI can do it for you.
Yeah, I can probably do it. I don't have a lot of assets, so it's probably pretty easy to set up for me. Just a matter of implementing and putting these actual pieces, like I was trying to say, like, what about Robinhood? And what about, like, my bank accounts? Like, are those going to have a trust as a owner? Is that an easy thing to do?
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, it has been so far.
Yeah.
Anything that I've tried to put in my trust has been very easy because I think people have done it before.
Is your personal bank account, you mostly operate out of Nick Estates, right?
Well, nowadays, I have multiple bank accounts so it depends on what property has expenses.
Right.
I just pay out of whatever or reimburse out of whatever. I try to put a lot on credit cards. I don't know. It depends. Every situation is so different.
Sure.
But for the most part, my daily spending is really kind of just done through Nick Estates,
Sure.
just because almost everything can be somewhat of a write-off. And if it's not, I just take it on my QuickBooks. I'm like, I'm not writing that off. And I just put it as an owner draw. That way we're square with the IRS and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can just categorize it properly.
Yeah.
And instead of taking a consistent paycheck, I just take it as an owner draw.
Yeah.
That purchase. That's just the way I do it.
Do you think you're going to set up a 401k eventually, or are you just going to operate with your Roth?
So far, I'm just going to operate with the Roth because I could put another $7,500 in it next year, and that's good enough for me. I don't have a huge cash balance somewhere to transfer into a 401k, so I'm just starting fresh anyway with that Roth. For me, I don't, in my situation, I don't see a need for that unless, is there a reason?
It just depends. Like, are you looking for more write-offs? Because you could do like a traditional 401k, which you get.
I don't need more write-offs.
Yeah, I figured you're a real estate professional.
Yeah.
You're pretty taken care of on that. But I'm just trying to think if you wanted to save more money. What I've got my 401k and my Roth, and I'm going to be setting up a HSA next year once the beginning of the year starts.
The HSA I should set up.
Yeah.
Because I went and did a float tank yesterday, and when I went to pay for it, she's like, do you have an HSA? Like, we take that. And I'm like, no.
So you need a high deductible healthcare plan. Do you have a HSA approved plan?
I don't right now.
Then you cannot get an HS.
Oh, dang it. I need a high deductible plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't like all this stuff. I do enjoy a little bit of simplicity.
Yeah.
And less government regulation on how I spend my money. So I'm going to say that.
Sure.
The Roth IRA, there's the good part about having the funds over the last couple of years that I set up in the Roth IRA is that I'm not spending that on anything else.
Yeah.
It's kind of locked away.
It's like a forced savings for you.
But I'm really kind of disappointed that I can't spend my money on what I want to spend it on.
Sure.
So I have a little bit of a warped view right now on retirement accounts because I like to have complete control over my money. And the more and more restrictions just to save a couple of bucks on taxes, even though I'm saving plenty just by owning rentals and being in the business, it's just, for me in my situation, not a high priority in life.
Totally get it. We had to switch healthcares anyway. So I told Sam, I'm like, let's get one that's HSA eligible. I can drop $9,000 into this account every single year. And the plan would be not to use this for health benefits. It'd just be like, combine this with my IRA and my 401k and make a joint LLC where I can mega invest into one thing.
Sure.
So like it's a piece of a puzzle for me.
Yeah.
$9,000 is not a ton of money. It's something that I can save, and it's an extra $9,000 that I will save. You know what I mean? So it is just an extra 4 savings bucket for me to be able to invest into deals.
Yeah.
So totally get it. And no, I don't think less of you for having warped views. I think it is a warped view world.
Yeah, everyone's got a different perspective on everything. That's why hopefully this show relates to a couple of people and not everyone.
Yeah. we're hitting a couple buckets for sure. So
all right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. As always, if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or leave us a nice juicy comment on YouTube. We like those as well. Helps with the engagement, helps keep the show lively, and helps other people find the show. So do that.
Yeah.
And we'll love you forever.
And if anyone knows how to get a third mic working with our system, that would be amazing.
You've got like 20 people that you can talk to.
I know. I just don't want to reply to them. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much for checking out the Investor Shed podcast. If you enjoyed your time, make sure to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow along on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at The Investor Shed for shorts and promos about each episode. Do you want to be a guest or know someone who has great real estate investing advice and stories? Reach out to us at theinvestorshed@gmail.com.